להתחיל?
Yes.
Please, go.
Hi, welcome everyone. First of all, I wanted to say thank you because we're going to speak about denial, which is an unconscious process that is kind of unpleasant. And so I just wanted to thank you for indulging me in speaking about denial. The presentation is titled Denial and Its Discontents, Clinical Perspectives on Historical Silences. I am both a researcher and a clinical psychologist, and I bring both these expertise to this topic. I've seen hundreds of patients with trauma, with symptoms of denial, with symptoms of dissociation, and trust me that I know when something is real, it's real. We don't need to do a whole hullabaloo in order to deny it, and I'm going to show you what I will term artifacts of denial. And so, Okay, so I'm going to be doing three things today. I'm going to be speaking about denial in the clinic, how it manifests in the therapy room. I'm going to be speaking about artifacts of denial, and I'm going to be speaking about the Yemenite, Mizrahi, and Balkan Kidnapped Children Affair, the Nakba, and about Gaza. And this presentation explores how denial operates on both an individual and collective level. It highlights the role of denial in shaping political and cultural narratives, particularly within the context of Israel-Palestine. If you noted at the opening, I called the association, I call this association the Association of Israel and Palestine Studies, because the Palestine is missing. It's missing in this conference, right? We cannot speak about Israel without speaking about Palestine. By examining key historical events such as the Yemenite Kidnapped Children Affair and the Nakba, this discussion aims to reveal the profound implications of denial for societal dynamics, minorities, and the potential for reconciliation. And so just to speak a little bit about what exactly denial is. So psychologically, denial is a type of defense. It serves as a defense mechanism that protects individuals from confronting painful, traumatic realities. This avoidance leads to a distortion of perception, preventing acceptance of facts that are too distressing to acknowledge. Yesterday I was with my grandmother, Adna Vesrim, in the emergency room, and my aunt was there, and she's very superstitious. And the doctor came and is like, "Hi, how old is your mother?" And she was like, she freaked out. She didn't want to say how old because, God forbid, she was like, "I think she's 93, 94, and the doctor's like, on her armband it says 1927, she's 98. And so you can just see, we see this in every day, right? The denial of death, the denial of aging. And the truth is that the people who make a lot of money out of this are insurance companies. Hey. Okay. Yeah. Pretty slow, I don't know. Oh. Hi, hon.
Hi, okay. Oh, hey, Snowball.
No. Okay, I'm gonna skip forward so that we can have time. I don't know why it's not working. לא, זה כמו שלא מצגת.
כן, מוביל אותו.
כן. Okay. Just to briefly say that was an advertisement for life insurance, and so this man comes and his children and his wife are trying to kill him, and it's very funny because we all deny death, but we have to buy life insurance, right? So the advertising companies build on that. Denial also impacts grief resolution. So individuals who suppress their feelings rather than process them really doesn't enable them to do the grieving process. Okay. And this is a painting by Marguerite, The Lovers. So it's basically two people in a relationship, and they both are, in their own world. And just to say, in the clinic we meet it with a lot with people with addiction, with alcoholism. They don't want to admit that they have a problem. It's a denial. I have a patient whose partner has schizophrenia, and for the last 13 years she insists on staying with him even though the man is absolutely schizophrenic, very impaired. And when I ask her, let's speak about it, she's like, no, I don't want to speak about it, because when we speak about things we have to resolve them. And now I want to kind of shift to the collective impact of denial, and this is where denial doesn't only affect individuals but shapes collective narratives within societies, leading to a type of historical amnesia regarding traumatic events. And this, of course, also impedes social healing and integration. Let's see. This is a quote from Sue Grant, who speaks about childhood sexual abuse and incest. And she says that wherever trauma has been perpetrated, we find an urgent tension about what really happened. So within traumatic events, there's always going to be this contested narrative. That's just what's, even with childhood sexual abuse, with other traumas, with war, with kidnapping. Factual truth, essential truth, fiction, lies, forgetting, denying, remembering, these engage with one another to present a history that defies linguistic representation. Live stories, comment on facts, and obscure them. Meanings accrue to fact and are subtracted from them. This is the labyrinthine path toward that traumatic history in which a real crime was really perpetrated. The crime is real. What happens around it are structures of denial. And I want to show this clip. This is actually a very important clip that I hope that we can watch. This is the garden scene of the film. Okay, 10 minutes. The garden scene of the film, The Zone of Interest. About the family of an SS officer whose house is literally on the walls of the Auschwitz concentration camp. Okay, this is going to be basa if I won't be able to show this, but maybe it's for the best. I really recommend you to see this film. But just to say that this, let's see if this scene is where the mother of the wife of the officer, comes to visit her daughter.
Das ist alles nach meinem eigenen Entwurf gestaltet.
And to see the garden.
Das Gewächshaus, da hinten der Pavillon.
Ist das also Badebecken?
Ja, ja. Ich habe natürlich Gärtner. Das war der
Na Rutsch.
Ja.
Alter.
Fällt's dir?
Wie könnte mir das denn nicht gefallen?
Vor 3 Jahren war hier im Grunde ein Feld. Ja. Nein! Und wir hatten nur den vorderen Garten an der Straße. Nicht? Das Haus hatte ein Flachdach.
Das kann man sich kaum mehr vorstellen. Das hier ist die Mauer vom Lager.
Ja, das ist die Lagermauer. Also da haben wir auch noch Wein gepflanzt, damit das zuwächst, damit man es nicht mehr so sieht.
Vielleicht ist ja Esther Silbermann dort drüben.
Wer war das nochmal?
Ja, die, für die ich gewusst habe.
Ah, ja,
Das war auch die immer diese Bücherabende veranstaltet
Ja,
hat.
ja, ja.
Das ist ja toll, was die da gemacht haben.
Naja, bolschewistisches Zeug.
Biblisches Zeug.
Ja.
Beim Straßenverkauf über Sachen, da wurden die eben schön vorher genau vor der Nase weggeschnappt. Bei der Nachbarn vergingen.
So this is a really chilling scene, right? We see this beautiful garden, the pool, and we know just over the fence is the concentration camp. And you can see how there's an interplay of what's really happening and what's happening on the surface and what's happening underneath. There is a wall, but she wants vines to cover the wall. Maybe there's a Jewish woman there. You know, there's an imagined woman there, the Jewish woman. So really, I really recommend this one because it really shows how denial operates and how we operate with denial. And so I want to coin here a term which I call artifacts of denial, which is the psychic, bodily, and cultural traces through which disavowed realities become indirectly manifest. They are sometimes the product of an active refusal or inability to recognize painful truths, emerging at the juncture where intolerable knowledge meets the demand for survival. And so these aren't just passive emissions, but active formations. They both conceal and reveal. Their distortions, gaps, or symptoms bear witness to what cannot be fully faced, offering indirect testimony to trauma and its disavowal. And so I want to show you some of the artifacts of denial. I see them as 3 categories. One category is a psychic or bodily symptoms, this manifests in conditions such as conversion disorder, a dissociative disorder, where the body kind of acquires symptom. I'll speak about that in a minute. In discourse and culture, there are silent archives, revisionist history, which I'm also going to speak about in a few minutes. And society, where there are laws that erase, physical landscapes where memory has been overridden. And just in terms of conversion, this is a patient, but I'll speak about my patient. I have a patient who had severe sexual abuse, early childhood abuse, and she came to me after she had her whole right side of her body had been paralyzed, her right hand, her right arm, her right leg, and we've been working together for about 2 or 3 years, and as we delve more into the trauma, it emerged that she was also perpetrating the abuse towards her siblings. Obviously, this is something that she learned from a young age. So her body willingly paralyzed that part of the body that perpetrated the trauma. And then to look at other examples from society, this idea of denial of Palestinian trauma narratives, right? So Impede, this organization, has a whole book called Nakba Charta, Sifron Shenilcham al Haemet, and in the description they write, "B'sheker ha'ma'ayem la'atzif otanu ketsunami." Oh my God, we're going to have to contend with the fact that there were other people in this land before we came here. What are we going to do? Okay, so you can see how the artifact operates. And another example, anyone know where this is?
It's in the museum, no?
No, this is Tantura. This is Hofdor Tantura, where there was a major massacre of Palestinians in 1948. Today, it's considered a beach. So this is an artifact of denial. And I'm arguing that this operates in the same way as my patient with her conversion symptoms. The body literally shuts down a part of it because it cannot contend with the conflict. And this is another artifact, very recent. יש רעב בעזה, אני רק נכנס לעזה, אני נהיה רעב. Okay, so this is, and there are many examples of this, I don't need to go into all of them. What I do want to show you is this case study of this book. How much time do I have, Meir?
You have 5 minutes, exactly.
Oh my God, okay. So this is a book that came out, edited by Moti and Bari. Came out at the beginning of the year in January, the Yemenite Children Affair, Ethnic Tensions, Immigration, and Public Records in Israel. Shoshi actually sent me a link to the book, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Wait, why am I not in? Why is my paper not in this book? Why isn't Shoshi's paper in this book? What is going on? I was really freaking out. And but who are the authors of this book? All these folks, and you'll notice that none of them, at least physiognomically, are Yemenite or Mizrahi. And this reminded me of some of them actually presenting at a panel tomorrow. I don't know if anyone is going to be there. And this reminded me of something that happened a few years ago. The Fuat Nashim B'Israel, a book about female medicine, gynecology. All of the men are speaking about it. And then I'm going to ask you, would you want to read this book? And just to show you this, one of the writers, Ro'i Peled, writes a post speaking about the book, and someone writes, אני יושב עכשיו במקלט אחרי שירו עליי מתימן, ברגע הזה ממש לא אכפת לי מילדי תימן, קודם הילדים שלנו. And this connects, of course, with Inbal. This is someone who writes this. They're announcing the book, and so you can just see like who the audience of this book is, right? And just to note, which is important, is that Ro'i writes Sefer Chashuv, הספר הראשון האקדמי, which is a blatant lie because Shoshi wrote a book
2009.
in 2009.
There were many books before.
And what's weird about this book is that you can't find it anywhere. Okay, I searched Bar Ilan. Bar Ilan is that's not, you can't find the book there. The University of Pembroke, where Moti and Bari is a professor, the book isn't there.
Maybe it's an AI invention.
No, it's a real book. Moti actually sent me the book.
An Ashkenazi fantasy.
Oh no, what's going on with Zoom Workplace?
Ashkenazi AI.
We lost
So,
Shoshi.
No, tell me it's
You are out of the Zoom.
Mail, tell me it's one.
I'll give you 2 more minutes. The problem, no, that's what we have. We'll see how much. But the problem is not me, Natalie. The problem is
Okay, the problem
we
is
have
not
90 minutes. It's not. I'll give you as much as we can.
אז שושי פשוט לא תשמע אותנו, but you can continue. She wanted to hear us, but I think
Okay,
you
I'll
continue.
continue. Okay, so just as interesting. Can I keep? אני יכולה להמשיך? Okay. So Ro'i Peled, I don't know what the word is really, because he publishes this article, Does Information Matter? The Discourse on the Yemenite Children's Affair, in this journal called the Journal of Documentation. And I was like, what is this journal? What is this Journal of Documentation? And apparently anyone who wants to publish anything can go to the Journal of Documentation. They have a very quick peer review process of a few days, and you can go a few days, yeah. And the most cited article is an article from 1972. So what does that tell you about this journal that claims to and it's interesting because in the book Moti and Bari hails Ro'i Peled as an expert legal scholar. I'm like, why would someone who's a legal scholar want to publish in this journal? I don't understand. And you can see how the artifacts of denial are working here. And this is the page of the book where you can on the publisher, which is interesting enough is not an academic publisher. So the book is published. They say it's an academic book. It's not published in an academic publisher. And I'm showing this book versus Shoshi's book. And as you can see, this I looked a few weeks ago, maybe it's changed. The only way to get the book is through a hardcover. And this is against...
How much time more? 3 minutes?
4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Okay.
You are
3
leaving me
minutes,
on
okay.
very short
Okay.
margin.
And
Okay,
you
4 minutes.
And you can see how the book kind of goes against the academic principles of openness, open access, open research. We can see Shoshi's book here, where, and this is a picture of Shoshi, which when she
She's
published
in the Zoom, right?
when she
Trying to
published
hear
the
you.
book, because Shoshi is from Yemenite descent, that's important, right? And the folks who wrote this book don't ever mention anything about their own ethnicity. We're in 2025. If you're going to write a book about Yemenite children, you want to say, you know, who are you? Who are you? And you can see that with Shoshi's book, you can get an ebook, you can get a softcover book, you can get a hardcover book, you can go to any university online and find this book. The book makes a dedication in memory of all the children who died during the Great Immigration to Israel, in memory and gratitude for the healthcare personnel who treated adults and children during the Great Immigration to Israel. I don't know what to
לא
say.
שומעים בזום.
Okay. Oh,
והסטארט-אפ ניישן, חיפה היא חלק מהסטארט-אפ ניישן?
יש בעיה, לא, זה לא קשור
זה החדר.
החדר.
לא, זה לא יד.
לא היה? אולי זה...
אולי העננים ירדו.
אולי בגלל שהעומס באינטרנט.
העננים ירדו, שים עלה, משהו.
לא, אולי בגלל שהיום באתי דרך האינטרנט, אז יש עומס.
יש עומס, הבנו. טוב, נשמה, נטלי, יש לך עוד 2 דקות. אחרת לא נעשה את
אני
החלק
יכולה
השני.
להמשיך את המצגת?
תעזבי את זה, תדברי, נטלי.
אוקיי. אז תן לי. Okay. So I think what's at stake here is really this domino effect, right? Because when the narrative is not about a great immigration, but about a very traumatic immigration, an immigration that was sometimes forced, that was manipulated, then that card falls down. And then it falls down this card of the medical personnel as heroes, but maybe they were collaborators. And then basically you have to ask yourself, what do you really believe about the Zionist narrative? I'll just, with the last 2 minutes that I have...
No, you have 1 more minute.
1 minute, okay.
That's it.
So they call my work careless, my dissertation, they call careless. My dissertation had 40 participants from various ethnic groups, all who had children kidnapped from them. I have a sample, I have a questionnaire. They don't say anything about this in this book, even though my dissertation is available online for anyone who wants to read it. But when I saw it,
You have 45 seconds.
Okay, so I'll just okay, I wanted to go into one of the claims that Avi Pikar makes about memory, false memory. False memory is something that's contested in the psychological field. But the question is really whose side you're on. And Avi Pikar is on the side of this woman who does expert witnesses for Jeffrey Epstein and for Rizlan Maxwell. And they are not on the side of the trauma survivors. But Avi Pikar is for some reason. And I'll just end with this quote that I always that I love of Judith Herman, who says atrocities are always going to be refused to be buried. Equally as the powerful to deny atrocities is the conviction that denial does not work. Remembering and telling the truth about terrible events are prerequisites for both the restoration of the social order and for the healing of individual victims. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Can you